I moved the chickens in here because they needed more space and I didn't want them in the house. This room here that eventually is going to be a bathroom, I'm using that. So now they're in this metal bin, which is where I've always raised my chickens. It's just so much bigger. And they're getting big and capable so they can jump up. So I had to lock them up a bit. Hi, babies. Also, Maggie's learning to be a good girl. She's still very excited, but she knows there's expectations and she has to behave. Good girl, Maggie. But now that they're getting bigger, I need to make progress on the chicken coop. I've shared before on these videos, this lean-to area is chicken coop, and this will be the chicken run. The chicken run right now has chicken wire, which does not do a good job protecting chickens. So this whole thing needs to be replaced with hardware cloth. The problem is that this amazing grapevine is threading through the chicken wire. And so I don't know what to do so I can save the grapevine. First, I want to deal with the inside. So I did some gutting. This is all the junk that was inside the chicken coop. And I have an idea for this. There was actually a little shelf here that I might put back. So what I'm thinking with this is cutting it. These will be the legs. These will be nests, which is more than I need. Usually the chickens just all end up laying in one. And then this area here, if I can remove this and have one area here, I will put net over it, and this can be where I separate a broody hen and her eggs, or where I introduce new chicks to the flock. It's always nice to have an area where you can separate a sick hen or whatever. I've never had a sick hen, but it's just good to have. So chop it down to this level, and then I have nesting boxes, and I have a big cage area here. And this is what it looks like inside. Everything got removed. That needs to be replaced with a bigger electric door that opens and closes at dawn and dusk. There's power. This is really great to have. It's all a little prehistoric looking, kind of scary. Someday, once we bring an electrician to deal with the barn, which won't be soon, we'll fix that. Lots of insulation popping up everywhere, so I don't know exactly what I should do. Like maybe put a sheet of wood covering it up. I want to do trim. It doesn't have to be perfect, but trim around the doors to cover all of this. Trim on the windows. And then once I do trim, I'll do a paint, like a glossy trim, white paint, cover it in white, and then paint that once I fix it up. We're gonna do some work here in the garden with the girls. I'm planting all of the lavender little bits that I brought from Ryewood around this fence. I'm not amending the soil, and I don't know what quality soil there is, and everything here has quite a bit of clay, so it might not work, but I'm just gonna pop them in and let them be here this year and see what happens. Cleaning up the weeds, planting lavender, and mulching all around is gonna give it a much cleaner look. I started working on the chicken coop, but Grant was using my phone to record demoing the barn. I'm so excited that he's working on the barn because that means I'm gonna have storage space for my boxes very soon. I want to show you where I'm at with the chicken coop. Lots of work on the way. While we work here, I brought the chicks into the run. And I would say they're loving it. I don't know if you can tell, they're so little. I was looking around this run area and some of the wood is good, but some of the wood is really not. So I'm really gonna tear it down and start from scratch. Here are the babies. They're having so much fun. In here, I added a layer of kind of plywood to this wall. It's not a beautiful job, but it gets the job done. I think I want to put trim around the doors still on the windows, but right now I'm working on the nesting boxes so I can attach them to this wood. It's on its side. I took off the first top part, that's that. So then this will be the top. These are the nesting boxes. I have a lot of nails to figure out, but right now I'm drawing lines here because I'm gonna cut right here where the line is, and those are gonna be the feet. I'm drinking summer blend today and it was warm still, so I added ice and it is cold and refreshing and so wonderful. Okay. I keep losing the dust bag from that saw. It doesn't attach well and it falls off. Or maybe that saw didn't come with a dust bag and I've been using one for something else. That might be it. Anyway. Okay, so, woohoo! There you go. This goes here, the little shelving guy for them to go in. I put a barrier here so I can add straw to the nesting boxes, and then little climbing shelf to get on. this is where we are. We have our nesting boxes. Ideally, I had wood kind of going up like this so the chickens don't stand on this and poop over it, but I'm not doing that, at least not anytime soon. I added trim around the windows to hide all the insulation that was poking up. I feel pretty good about that. I did it here too. That looks really good. And then I just went ahead and added little bits of wood everywhere where I had insulation cracks. Same down here on the floor. It's been covered. I feel good about it. It's not pretty. I'm gonna paint it all white and it'll be good enough. I have to install a roof bar, but I'm gonna do that after I paint. I really need a shower. I'm so filthy. I'm gonna work in the garden for a bit. I had originally said that I was gonna let this bed work slowly over this year. I was gonna add topsoil that was free, and then some nitrogen fixing seeds so it would work on its own. But my plans for this bed changed a little. I'm gonna plant all the gooseberries and honeyberries on the ground instead of on a raised bed. So I ended up with 6 bags of raised bed soil left. So I am throwing them here, and I went a little crazy, but I made this fun blend. It does have nitrogen fixing seeds like peas and clover, but it has a ton of calendula and chamomile and other kind of butterfly loving flowers. And then I added some mycorrhizae because I had it. And then I also had inoculant that is supposed to be good for the nitrogen fixing seeds so they can actually fix that nitrogen that we want. I'm gonna finish spreading this, and then I'm gonna add this and kind of work it into the soil a little bit and deeply water because this cardboard is dry. So it needs a lot of water. And then I will have a third bed ready to go. So some of these herbs, a lot of these herbs are annuals, but some of them, there's daisies in here and there's echinacea in here. So some of them are perennials and they will continue to come back every year. And I think that's fun. This bed can be a mix of flowers, and then in the gaps of the flowers every year I can throw whatever vegetables I want. It's so nice to have a good balance of herbs, flowers, and whatever food crop you're trying to grow. So that's gonna be a fun bed. And then there I'm gonna have half of the bed is gonna be in the ground for honeyberries and gooseberries, and the other half is gonna be a raised bed for blueberries. Those like more acidic soil, so it's a little easier to control the acidity of the soil in a raised bed than in the ground. And then we can just let some small herbs grow in between them that kind of support what those bushes need. I'm gonna spread this very casually and water deeply. And then I'm gonna have to keep watering every single day for a bit because that cardboard is gonna dry really fast and could kill all the little baby seedlings. But I'm so excited. There's such a weird mix of flowers and all kinds of random things in here. I think it's gonna be fun. but there's also soybeans and oats. And I'm excited about the oats because then I can harvest the fresh little buds to make a tincture with milky oats. So calming and so good for winter moodiness and emotional heaviness. Milky oats is great, and it's really hard to find the oats fresh. Now I am going to water. I found this guy. Hopefully it works. One of the biggest changes we've noticed since moving here is our relationship with water. Living in California for almost 2 decades, we always had this kind of like weight and responsibility to save water because, you know, Southern California is a desert and a lot of the water has to be imported. There was always this responsibility to take short showers and to not have plants in the garden that required constant watering, and on drought years it was even heavier. And here we have well water and it rains constantly, so we know that the reserves of water under us are getting refilled all the time. And it just feels so bountiful and so delicious to be able to water your garden and know that the water is basically a cycle, is going back into the land where it came from. I love that. The water is very heavy in iron, and in the shower it kind of smells rusted, and that's something to get used to. But I'll take that a million times over feeling so lacking. It rained all day yesterday, so the garden is super happy. We just got back from Milwaukee. We spent the day there. My little one was doing a robotic summer camp. Oh, hi. Hi. So we got to spend the day in Milwaukee. It was really fun. Last night, Amelie and I painted the chicken coop.
Yeah.
And today we are going to fill it up with straw and get it all set up and bring the chicks here because they really need a bigger space. Oh, it's such a beauty. I mean, it's, you know, it's what it is, but it is so much better than blue.
Yes.
So this is the new home for the chicken coop. Smells like paint a lot still, but I love that it has light that works. I love that it has this. I hang like a hot plate, and I think I'm gonna put it here on top of the roost bar. It just adds just a little bit of a warmer area in the winter for the chickens. It doesn't really warm up the space. And so we're gonna put the roost bar here. I'm gonna replace this with an electric door. And I need to cover the nesting boxes with cardboard so they don't, while the chicks are little, I don't want them getting used to hanging out and sleeping in there because we want those to be just for nests. I don't know where it went.
Okay.
Okay.
That like expanded.
Hi, Lena. We're not ready for the straw.
Really? Why?
And then that's going to be a problem that I didn't think about. This door needs to, because we need to put wood here to hold the straw in. I'm just going to put it right here. And then, yeah, I think we never opened this door. And we just add that there. That's all we need.
This is very fun. So that was one.
Welcome. to our brand new chicken coop. Maggie.
She needed one way to look at them.
Oh, we have a chicken coop. The chickens are comfortable. There's a lot of work to do for the run outside, but the coop is done. I think this nesting situation turned out really cute. If I ever or whenever I need the bottom area that is gonna work as a cage, then I will do that. I don't need it right now. And these little guys are where I'll use one for oyster shells, which is good for extra calcium, and the other one for grit, which is good to help them digest the food. Maggie is super excited. The electric door for the chicken coop is here. This is the same door that I was using in Rywood, but it connects to your phone via Wi-Fi now, which is nice because you can open and close it, or know if there was an error or something went wrong and the door didn't open or close wherever you are. I'm so excited to install this. The door is installed. So exciting. I just wanted to get it done because I had it here, but honestly, I can't set it up to open in the mornings because the run is not ready and I can't have them. Like, for example, see down here, there is an entire hole. And I'm replacing the whole thing. Here, I'll show you. So right now I have it set on manual. Little babies. Okay, the chicks are out. Everything is covered in poop already, but a few last updates. I added 2 roost bars. They obviously don't need 2, and they're probably all gonna prefer to be on the top one, but they're still little, so they can jump to the first one. I know they can jump that high, and then they can jump to the second. I put up a Ring camera so I can see them from my phone. I like to do that, especially when I'm traveling. And I hooked up all the cords so it's a little bit more organized. So these guys got hooked up. So happy to be done and so happy to have a nice home for chickens again.